Hi there, Ozzy. How are you? Hopefully my audio is good. Please let me know. I want to make sure that it's coming through well. Can you? Okay, awesome. Very, very good. Okay, Tom, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Got a very exciting show for you guys today. Ozzy B, I love hearing that. Our back tester is kind of incredible, and I'm gonna actually do a couple of them as part of this um, live stream. But I've got a really exciting live stream for you guys. 4 minutes until we start. I want to give people a little bit more room to pop in. Ozzy, I think a lot of people really don't quite fully comprehend how powerful our back testing is. And a lot of it has to do with really kind of rethinking the way traditional back testing is, where, like, in the old trade station, uh, an easy language concept, and like people would be like, okay, give me a chart of IBM over the last 60 years, and the system will very quickly figure out an optimized way to trade it. The problem is 60 years is way too long of a time frame to look, and that's not how real systems analysis is done. It's almost like this. Let me give you an interesting metaphor. Imagine you were going to war today, even in, like, where we've had a lot of conflicts in the Middle East. 100 years ago, they used cavalry. But would you be mounting up horses and stuff like that? Probably not, because that doesn't make sense in today's world. Although cavalry has been very successful for hundreds of years, you really have to focus on what's going on right now. And there is a very large component in the current market, which is so different from anything we've experienced before. Number one, the world of zero commissions basically means that you're trading against internal algos from Citadel and Virtue and BlackRock. I mean, most likely you're not even trading against people anymore, which is unfortunate, because you want to be like the real buyers versus real sellers. But I believe that kind of stuff is kind of gone by the wayside a while back. So our back testing lets you find a concept of an idea of a move, and then test that over the last like few months and see, like, well, what's been going on, and then you can really dial in to the stuff that's working. So, Rit, the new alpha is not out yet, but I'm going to be showing you guys some stuff that I'm testing. We think next week. And again, this stuff, there's just so much happening. And like I said, I'm really pumped about sharing it with you. But I want to make sure that you guys understand how deep the well of what kind of innovation we are bringing to market. All right, so everyone, I'm going to kick it off. We've got a good amount of people here already. This is going to be a very exciting one. And really, it has a lot to do with what Ritman just said. I'm going to be focusing a little bit. I posted 2 videos up at the top. Do you guys have them? It's a video of my son trading LFS yesterday. Let me minimize this. Bring this in here. If you had not seen it, I posted it up there. Let me bring it on social. I'll just bring it up on Bear with me here for a second. Okay, so I'm going to repost it. Right here is the initial thread. And on my screen, here, let me bring it up. So LFS today was, yesterday was a school holiday. So my son wasn't at school. He had like QB training and all sorts of other stuff. But he's using what I'm going to show you in a second. And I did a whole thing, and this is a video of him talking about what he did. And obviously I taught him some things in terms of like how to do stops and stuff like that. But everything he did here, he did by himself. And again, really watch the video. It speaks a lot to what you can do yourself. And it has a huge implications about what we're going to discuss today. Okay. So this is the channel that Ian used to spot LFS yesterday. It's our Explosive Winners channel. It has every big runner in it. I mean, you literally are not going to miss one runner if you are watching this channel. That's how powerful it is. It's designed to do this kind of stuff. And you know, the LFS trade yesterday, like Ian was looking at it, it was right here. It had pulled back and then it just exploded higher. And I mean, like even something like this, Energy Groups Limited, you know, you can see trading 2 times relative volume. You got the buy signal on the 5-minute. And, you know, I'm not saying it's going to do it, but if it rebounds even just a little bit, that's a huge percentage gain. Okay. So I want to show you guys what I'm doing here and this next bit of innovation that we're bringing to the money machine. So you can see this is a race view. Okay. And I'm in ARQ right here. I'm in HDSN and VMAR. And I'm going to show you what we've just added. So right now, the money machine works on tree map mode, and we added alerts. So I'm going to stop it. Okay, and I'm going to stop this. Okay, and I'm going to show you money machine settings, what we've done. Okay, so notice here I have strategy called race, EM race, and how did I get this? And this is something that I'm going to be showcasing to you guys. Remember when we initially came up with the money machine concept, we were saying we want to be in the top 3. This now gives you an ability to do this exact thing. And you can use races for exits. I'm not doing that right now, and I'll explain why. But what I want to do is I want to give you guys a big concept to think about real quick. So notice that this is a race. Okay. Right click, see it says can attach to money machine. So that's the innovation that we've just brought to the table. So I'm going to hit start money machine. And I'm going to close this out. And NMG, VMAR. My settings are for just 2, I believe. Let me do a quick stop real quick one more time. Sorry. Let's start. So 3 positions, entry candidates 2. So I want to be in the top 2. Okay. And maximum of 3 positions. And I want to explain why I'm doing it this way. And we're going to go through it. And my exits are right here. Okay, so you can see there's tons of different stuff. So I'm going to hit start. I'm going to close this up. And here we are in the top 2. We're in the race. Yeah. Okay. So let me explain a little bit about why this is relevant to what my son did in LFS, and just a concept that I want you guys to think about when you're in these, when you're in this mode. And right now, the way we have this set up, we have it on the most, like you're buying the bid. You're buying the offer and selling the bid. I don't think that that's what you would really want to do. You wouldn't want to be necessarily hitting market orders on these, but we're testing a lot of this stuff out. And this is, you can see bid, ask, last, like, you know, what's going on here. And if you see what I had been in, I expanded. So I was in this one before right here, bought, sold, you know, bounced, went lower. You know, this is a very volatile name right here. Okay, VMAR. You know, just did a little, I'm testing this new stuff. But I want to talk about how is this similar in here to what, like this VMAR trade, by the way, Vision Marine Technologies. Okay. This is basically what the LFS trade looked like yesterday. I'm gonna bring this up. Okay. So my son was looking at this thing. It was like right around here. Let's bring up the daily. Okay. So it was right around 189 and it started to go up to like 2, and he bought it right at like $2 and put in a stop, as he said, like right at the 170, 175 area. Okay. And then it just exploded. Okay. Did he know it was going to explode? Absolutely not. That's impossible. And nobody who is here listening to me should think that that is possible. Okay. That's not the case. But what I want you guys to understand is that using this in terms of the technology here, okay? I don't know why, whatever I clicked on the last, all right, there we go. I just fixed it. Sorry about that, guys. So LFS was just right here, okay? And what Ian was doing, he's looking through this, you know, and just kind of scouring like this, you know, this one, like LFS was right in this area right here. And this pattern is repeatable. You know, all of these, like, see, like right here. I'm not saying that, again, every one of these will do that. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the pattern, okay? The pattern is repeatable, and you will not miss it if you're watching this channel. I mean, that's really worth the price of the subscription in and of itself. Okay. But so 3 Sharp, he got the signal, and by the signals, okay. This is a great question. I really like 3 Sharp's question because it's so pivotal to successful investing. And remember, you guys, my son's 13. Okay, he doesn't carry a lot of our mental and emotional baggage. I mean, we have a lot of it, and this kind of baggage is what keeps us from winning. And this is just a fact of adult life. But I want to, so 3 Sharp asked, he got a signal to buy it. Which one, from Holly or Money Machine? He actually got the signal to buy it just by watching this channel by himself. He was not using the Money Machine because he doesn't have that version, because, you know, like my son, remember, my son goes to school. He's not trading right now. So he's not a full-time trader. He does not have the Money Machine on his computer because there's just no need for that. He's not in front of his computer all day long, and he's not actively trading. He trades, But yesterday he had a day off from school and he's like, Dad, I'm going to trade. I'm like, great. So he was looking at this, and I would say, based on how he and I remember Leap Therapeutics 266. I mean, you're talking about from 60 cents today to 143. Sorry, from yesterday. I'm sorry, yesterday from where it was, and it's halted. So he was simply perusing this explosive winners channel, and he saw something that looked, kind of like this. I would say this is the move. In fact, I mean, I'm going to give you an example of exactly what he did to buy it. And I'm going to put it in MM1, and I'm just going to buy it market right here. Okay. And he then set a stop right like this. This is the exact move that my son did. This is the move. You see it right here. I mean, again, it's not always going to be the first one because, like, Dad, this is pulled back nicely. Do you see like how, in this particular case, what you're looking at here is somewhat of a, I wouldn't say low risk. There's no such thing really as low risk, but look at the big picture. Okay, at the bottom. Same thing. You see a big move, so there's some huge overreaction to something. At least that's what my son thought in LFS. Let's take a look at that just real quick. LFS yesterday, remember, this big green thing didn't exist. It had earnings, it came down and just started to bounce. Okay, so very similar to this move right here. Just came down, started to bounce, and this was the exact same type of trade. Exactly the same. So why did this thing exit? Well, because I have it on the race setting. So I shouldn't have, I should have taken that off of that at the moment, but so you can see I'm doing a lot of testing, but something I want you guys to think about as I'm showing you this, okay? And this is really, really, really important. I'm going to get back into it again. Buy 1,000 shares. Buy now. Okay. And I don't exactly remember which rule I have for positions that I add to it. Money machine settings. Auto add manual. So it's auto adding manual positions here. And I don't know why I got two of these here, but that's not that important. The point I'm trying to make is that this is the type of setup, okay? This sort of pickup on the pullback, and again, it can very well trade lower, is one of the ones that can lead to percentage gains where it's, something like, when he was after my son was after market, he was up almost 700% in the trade. But I want to get you guys something to think about, okay, as we look at what we're doing here. So what I want you to think about is here in this particular case, let me get out of this one. I'm not exactly sure. This seems to be, again, remember, I'm always on the dev build. You guys see like the dirty. Not sure why there's two of these trades. I don't think it should be that way. But consider to get 300, 400, 500, 600%. You may have to do what I'm doing here, which is basically kind of just letting these things play out a little bit. And you may have, let's say again, you have, look at how much I'm, in this particular case, I'm down 1.196 of a percent, $200. Okay. Yesterday, my son at highs was up $4,100. By the way, I'm Trader 77. I like that. Lesson for son. Oh, he was so pumped. But again, my son's one of the things he does very well, and to some extent even better than me, he doesn't think. He's a very instinctual type of person. He's a quarterback. So, like when you get the ball snapped to you, you kind of have to go and make a decision quickly without, well, what's this company do? This is one of the biggest problems that most adults face is they try to think through. Okay. They try to think through it. Let me try to do something real quick here. I'm going to switch from MM1 to MM2 and then back to MM1 and see if that fixes it. Yeah. Okay. So that's just a quote pickup on this version. But again, look at what we're trying to do. And I'm trying to use this example. I have no idea of anything that's going to happen to this QHS trade. Okay, I really do not. Other than if you look at the setup, I'm trying to give you guys an example of what it is. And my son obviously has learned a couple of things from me. I teach him some of my concepts, and this concept that we're doing here, if this chart is even accurate, is really called mean reversion. It's very old, it's very understood, and the concept here is simply oftentimes people overreact, okay, in one way or the other, both in the upside and the downside. And this doesn't mean that it's going to go up. It could very well trade down. But what I'm saying is that imagine you have 6 days, okay, 6 days where you're doing this trial and error method that I'm showing you, okay? And again, here, you're in the race, you're doing what you need to do. You understand why you're in it. Very simple stuff. And by the way, you can adjust things like this. Like, there's no reason to sit here and lose this much on this trade. You just click right there, $41, not a big deal. But I'm saying is, would it be worth it for you guys? And just think through this, because this is military level tactics, and I want you all to process what I'm saying because it's so important for your success. Would it be worth it for you to lose $97 10 days in a row for on the 11th day to catch an LFS? Contemplate that, because what I'm saying is, in trading, a lot of times there's trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. We're trying some stuff here, but we don't know if it is going to work. I mean, I certainly hope it does on this live stream. And again, you can see, okay, why am I not in this one? I want to make sure you guys understand, because there's other things that are starting, but why am I not in this one, even though it's in the top 3? And something else that I want you guys to see that I'm doing here is that notice that my race is now 30 minutes versus in by default on the channel bar, the race is 10 minutes. What I'm doing here is I'm working on creating less churn by being in the top 3. You can really even make a race potentially 2 hours. And the idea, and again, remember, we are building this in real time with you as our witnesses. We're working on this technique with you. And this technique is being in the biggest movers, okay? Being in the biggest movers as they go. So here, like, because this is a 30-minute window, this QH, okay, it's going to be challenging for others to catch up to this, and we're already in it. So again, it potentially, if it runs, it you could stay in it, and then the goal has been achieved. Okay. So let's look at this one. Remember, we're in it. 8 cents, 3%. So it also has to do, obviously, you know, it's looking at time, and this one just hadn't done too much, but then just started to go. So the important thing that I want to make sure you guys are all understanding is that the money machine, we aren't a technology company where we develop something, it's done, and it's out. We are just continuing the innovation process because we want to make you guys the most efficient momentum-based traders that can possibly be made without having any kind of advantage that the algos and the big financial institutions have. So we are trying to show you guys a technology and a methodology of doing something that most people have never done before. You know, most people are like, ooh, this stock crossed the moving average, or this stock, you know, is oversold based on some bullshit that somebody did 100 years ago called RSI. And again, I get all of that, but we're in a different world, okay? And we are showing you where the momentum is. Okay. And what I'm saying is that to catch this momentum, the way that we're doing it right now, we've got the one of a kind technology for it. It's the one of a kind tech. There's another interesting component. Okay. There's an interesting component of why QH is not here, and it's something that I'm working on, and I almost don't want to explain it to you guys because I would have to stop the race to really explain it to you. But we're running, okay? So don't you like that in the middle? DF1. What I'm saying is that you're not. It's not a real buyer versus a real seller. It's potentially a real buyer versus a facilitator. Okay, that's all I'm saying. And this QH, I love giving you guys this example because this is literally what my son did yesterday. And I'm not saying that it's going to go up 400%. But what I'm saying is that notice here, by the way, trial and error, bought, sold, went up, went down, bought again, sold again, bought again. This is trial and error. And it may take you a little bit of time, okay? It may take you a little bit of time. Like it could take you 2, 3, 4, 5 days of trial and error where imagine you lose $100 or $200 trading small size like I'm trading here 5 days in a row. People could be like, oh my God, you're a loser. But you have to understand that that's not how trading works. Sometimes it may take you 5 days to catch an LFS or a QH like this. Although like on this channel, for example, okay, they're everywhere. So I want to explain something about what I was doing so that you understand why QH is on this screen, but not on this one. Okay. So one of the things that I personally don't like to do is I don't like to buy highs. Like I feel like when I'm buying the high, I've already missed it. You know, that's like trying to buy this and thinking the breakout's going to happen, or right here, oh, it's breaking out, and then it goes down to 128, goes again, it goes all the way down. I mean, there's a lot of volatility here, okay? And what I did to prevent that from happening is on this race right here, my maximum position in range is set to 70. So whenever a stock is above its 70th percentile, like QH, it's leaving here. I'm fine with that. That's not the point because, again, remember, I'm in the lab with you guys. I'm doing some testing here with you guys. I'm trying to find an edge with all of you with me and showing you how we develop this technology in the lab in real time. I mean, when have you ever seen a company do this where we're showcasing this stuff to you literally right as we're building it and we're saying, hey, right click, we just made it so you can do a race with the money machine like we had initially started from long ago. So remember too, something very important. So you can now create an alert strategy and put the alert strategy in the money machine. And I'm going to show you guys something, okay? So take a look at this. These are two kind of alert strategies that I have as sort of, I call this the super pickup system for MM. Let me right click, save and share to the cloud. So that anybody who's in this live stream, who's a subscriber, can work on this. And this is the downside version of it. So you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm looking for the reversal, here. Let me show you what that looks like on this one. And these are just ideas, okay? But let me show you what we were talking about earlier in terms of testing and how you can bring the back testing. And by the way, if you're a premium and subscriber, and when the market's closed, you're not back testing, you're missing a ton. Okay. So let me show you again some things that you can do. Right click. Okay. Back test strategy. So let me give you an example here. You start the strategy, let's say at 6:45. So that you're saying that you're contemplating the following. Market opens, and this alert window is going to be feeding you signals starting 15 minutes after the market. Remember, I'm on West Coast time, so this is why my timing is like this. And then I'm not going to be adding positions past 10. And I'm just saying this because if you're adding positions past 10, you're really, you're in kind of tournament. I'm doing some concepts here, and I want to just think about it. Okay, you can even say something like this, and this is very important for you guys to see the flexibility. Let's say you're really trading. This is your, right here. You're entering for the first hour and 15 minutes, okay? And let's say you hold it for 30 minutes only. This is the kind of stuff that you can do with trade ideas that you just can't do anywhere else. And I'm not saying this is going to give you a great buy signal, but watch what you can do. So you quickly ran a sim, which is what I did right here, of 769 trades. You have 45% winners. And remember, I did this strategy without any testing at all. So this is the first time I'm doing this, and I'm doing this in front of you guys. Okay. So we can go back and we can see what happened on the 10th. I can double click and I can take a look. I mean, you can see that we have, okay, So this is kind of a phenomenal example of some things. So take a look. Loser, 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 loser. You're doing a bunch of trial and error, but boom, you pop the big one. And this is the hunt. I mean, I just want you guys to remember I told you guys, and yes, you can. You would have to simply create a symbol list with one stock DF1. So yes. But I'm showing you kind of like how you do that with this tech right here. So QNRX, let's take a look at this real quick. Whoops. So you caught this move, okay? And that's a very, very large move to catch. But there's other things that you can do here with all of this, okay? And there's optimization. You know, you can see like, okay, this worked better, let's say from $8 to this price range, whereas from on the shorter ones, like you want to completely exclude these. And so in fact, like I would say right click. Do you see like I'll set min value to 4? So you can just change this and it helps you figure out where, and I actually like this about 6. Actually, right around, yeah, let's go like 6. And this is, again, your curve fitting here. So don't get me wrong. This is a curve fit. But what I'm saying is that you're also doing some serious hunting, strategic hunting for what is working the most right now. And if we backtest this strategy the same exact way, let's see what happens. So this is the Q whatever one that we caught. So we improved our percentage winners. Lots of trial and error. But I want to make sure you guys understand that this is a huge piece of the tech puzzle. Okay. DF, what do you mean is there a cap limit? I mean, you can, you know, this tells you like how much buying power you use. I mean, you can set this all up tailored completely to what you want to do. And I'm just showcasing that you've got this example right here where, once again, we're doing something. Do you guys notice that, and I mean, if you look at what this stock has done, you know, it's up 3. I mean, that's a huge, huge move because obviously it was just right here. You're talking about very, very large relative volume of this much. But this is the kind of stuff that if you remember, Trade Ideas AI gave a buy signal for turn, like right around here, and it gapped up to 17 and then continued and then continued. Like it doesn't necessarily stop. You know, all of that just depends. It doesn't necessarily stop. And so this CMT, I mean, you know, especially if you think there's some short people that are trapped and earnings in 2 days before market open, this is the kind of stuff that, like right here, and again, I'm gonna just get into this for you guys and do a 300 share buy now. And I want to talk about, again, this same concept as we've done with the LFS trade that my son got into. Okay. I'm gonna put this right here. Like, would you risk $300 for $3,000? And I think you would have to say the answer would be yes. I mean, and everyone's risk is their own. So, DF, you can customize all of these things that you're talking about on any alert or top list window. So if you right click and you go to configure, okay, and you go to search and you say market cap, add the filter. You can put in a minimum, a maximum, whatever you want. So we have a ton of filters for all sorts of fundamental data. So like you can go right here and you can say just filters. Spread, bid size, distance from the market. As you get kind of lower here, you can say time of day. Like you can say, I don't want to get into this if it's, kind of like what I said before. I only want to trade at a certain time of day. I want to trade close to earnings, earnings per share, revenue, interest income, debt, held by insiders, float turnover. And there's so much stuff that short growth, shares outstanding, so much flexibility that we give you. And most people don't do enough exploration of this. But remember, we have this Chat GPT here that you can say, does trade ideas have fundamental data filters I can use to set up alerts or topics? And then it gives you all of the things that you need. I mean, we have one of the most advanced AI assistants in tech to help you get the most out of this trading. Remember, it's all inside every configuration window, and it's also, of course, on our homepage. And remember what I just showed you, that every window. So I'm going to do something where I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to give you guys just another concept of testing strategies and the fact that, hey, you can put this in the AI. And by the way, getting a little bit of a payoff. Just demonstrating to you guys what we were talking about in terms of LFS yesterday, and using the races or the money machine, which is now going to be available to you guys soon in the next version. So DFI hybrid trade. I do entries automatically a lot of times, but I manually trade with it. So that's like, if you're driving long distance in your fancy car, you can have, like, I don't have a Tesla, I have a Cadillac, and has what's called Super Cruise. And Super Cruise is pretty decent on the highway, although sometimes it annoyingly likes to switch lanes in ways that I don't like. So sometimes I'll let it go, but then sometimes I'll take over. And this is very similar. I think people sometimes want the machine to do everything for them. And there's a lot of misconceptions about what AI really does versus what people think that it does. And man and machine together is really the best combo. Okay. So I enter a lot on automated, but I do adjusted risk management myself. Does that make sense? Trader Joe, we think the next version of the alpha is going to be there, we hope, next week. That is what we are shooting for right now. Okay. But the beauty of one of the things that I want to make sure you guys know is that right now, the money machine, this is simulated mode. So I'm giving you guys a sim version of what I'm doing. In sim mode, you should be incredibly aggressive and continuing to try stuff, because people only learn how to Aussie B, thank you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do that. There's really just one way to learn how to trade, and it's through very extensive entry and exit reps. Kind of like if you're a professional golfer and you are working on something on the range, you're trying to get a certain ball flight, and reps, so that when you are doing it the way I did this QH, I didn't really think about it. I just got in. Like, all I needed to do was to see this beautiful picture in picture. Like, my eyes said, hey, Dan, this could be oversold. These are the kind of plays that, and by the way, I mean, you're talking about a sub-million share float. If that is accurate, that means that, like, there's so much stuff that can be going on here. And if you're talking about, and again, this is a Chinese stock, so I don't have any faith in terms of, like, this isn't a long-term hold, but in the short term, this certainly can run up an extensive amount of time. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about a summary of what we learned today. Number one, I'm showing you guys that we have added, okay, the race to the money machine. And I'm going to do something, I'm going to exit all of this, and I'm going to show you something else, okay? Because this is part of what I want to do here. I'm going to stop, okay? This one is the one that we put on, so that's not exiting, which is fine because I wanted to keep it on there. I'm going to go to Money Machine Settings, and I'm going to use Race for Exits. This is a very aggressive maneuver, okay? So let's see. Come on. Let me stop this and start it again. I think I needed to do that. Okay. Here's race, entry candidates too. Okay, we're just waiting. So the idea that I'm showing you here is that it's really going to keep you just in these top three. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly why it's not doing it right now. But you guys know that when I show you stuff, I'm running a development version. So everything that I'm showing you is always subject for potential craziness. Let's see here. I'm going to stop this one more time. I'm going to exit this. Just make sure I got nothing. Okay, nothing's here. And let's start. Let's see, Money Machine Settings, Race. Okay. Okay, PERI, RLMD. All right, we're going. So what it's doing here, remember I told you that this is only going to keep you in the top ones. So there's going to be a lot of churn in this one, and we are working on the technology to see what, like right now, just again, for pure disclosure, we're buying at the offer, selling at the bid. That's probably not the way that you would want to trade this, but we're trying to say, okay, well, if we're going to lose money, let's be the most aggressive just to see what that looks like. Because the idea here is you're going to be doing a lot of in and out, and you may lose some, and you most likely will. As again, we're going to see. But I'm just trying to show you. Notice, you guys, two positions, two positions. Okay, if one of these really starts to go, okay, that's what you're going for. So you're going for a lot of trial and error. So you're going to lose many times, but you're going to try to catch the one LFS like my son did yesterday, or this QH that we had from 108, and this was actually so far a decent sell. But what I want you guys to notice is the automated ranking. Remember, we had talked about this when we first started the money machine. And also, please remember and be aware that I'm starting this money machine. This is 11 a.m. Well, I mean, we're sorry, almost 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we're in the last half of the day. And, I've mentioned this many, many times that this is the hardest time to ever want to start something. So what I want you guys to notice, though, and this is a key component, watch the ranking, watch what it does. Okay. So as soon as this falls out, you're going to be out of it. And you're going to lose here you might lose nothing if we got in at 77 and bid 77. But I want you guys to witness the new piece of tech, which is the total rank-based entries and exits. And here ABEO and PERI are just 1 and 2, so nothing's changing. By the way, while we're watching this, and as we're approaching the last 10 minutes of the webinar, what other questions do you guys have? I mean, since I'm here, I can always pivot from something. Notice again, this one that we just tested is continuing to give us some signals. This is, again, I like to buy these like 554. That's kind of like my sweet spot mental area, same as the LFS trade here. But kind of cool that, again, notice I increased the race time, right? So I made it so that this gives each one of these stocks really a chance to just continue if it continues. But if it gets out of the ranking, you're going to see it. QH back in. And that was a quick one. So the system got in there even before, even before we did. So you're in QH, PR. And by the way, if it falls out of here, it'll be out of you will lose very quickly. Or be out of it. It's only a cent spread, not a big deal. Michelle, it just it's a question of what kind of issues. Either one of your suggestions is totally viable, but I would probably ask support first and then see what happens. Ripman, shoot, what kind of suggestion do you have for the chart? Always love to hear suggestions. But I also, again, really love having you guys watch this innovation happen in real time. You know, so QH left the ranking is something else. I'm going ahead of it. And here we go. So do you see what I'm saying so Michelle, the support and resistance lines should be out on the next release of the beta. We think that's, again, coming early next week. I'm sorry, the alpha. The alpha version 2 is coming early next week, we believe. But I'm going to meet up with my team after this webinar, and I will confirm. So let me see here. So are you Rit, are you familiar with, you can click on any candle. Are you familiar with what I'm doing here? So I'm going to this candle. And I'm clicking on it, and I can see what I want to see. I click away. So if I want to go to this candle, so you can see all of the data points, the open, high, low, close, the VWAP, here. I'm clicking away, and that's this one. Clicking away. Now that's this one. Well, but it shows the indicators you want, I believe, or am I missing something? So like if you add one, if you add an indicator, it'll show it. The legends of the indicators. Okay. Do me a favor, Rich. Shoot us an email for that. Okay. Trendline Surfer, love to hear that. I think the potential is immense. And that's why we, have been working so hard at it. There's just nobody else who's doing this type of momentum-based trading, because honestly, like, our competitors, and there are good products out there. I don't want to be dissing on anybody, because again, there's plenty of market for everyone. But I just don't think there's another company out there that has a team that actively trades the way the Trade Ideas management team trades. So we are in the trenches with you, and we're always looking for that edge in a way that we're not chasing the same thing that the mass market's chasing. We're not going for the options premium, trying to figure out what the options guys are doing. Because I'll just be honest, if you guys don't know that the options guys know that you're looking at the options data, I can't even begin to try to explain that. These people are smart, they know, and they can trick you very easily with options volume nowadays and know how to do it. Yeah, IQ, we're going to be doing more of that. As I mentioned before, in the Market Explorer window, and I think IQ knows what I'm talking about here. You can go to TradeWave and do, let's say, 5 minute. And you can see that 5 minutes ago, I don't have the TradeWave up here, 1 second. So you can see that the buy signal just took place. So you can have this window up, but we're doing a ton of integration of trying to make these. By the way, this is really cool. If you guys aren't using this yet, okay, this is very similar to having an alert window, set up. And, this happened 10 minutes ago, but you can see this one, when this signal hit right here, and it's just continuing up. I mean, you can see the pattern. It doesn't mean it's always going to win. Yeah, IQ, I know what you're saying. And we obviously, we don't have the emails coming for TradeWave, but we are looking at all sorts of different options to improve TradeWave buy signal and sell signal communication. And TradeWave signals are incredible. They're one of our most popular things. Like this is currently in a sell signal. Okay. Sell signal just hit. In a buy signal from right here. But the important thing that was the whole purpose of today's live stream was to just tell you guys and to demonstrate, number one, that trade with LFS, it was found, oops, sorry. The LFS trade my son did was found by watching this channel, which notice it's continuing to bring these up to you. The ones that are really running. Okay. Doesn't mean that they're always going to be running, because here you could have gotten this right here, and this is a big pullback. Okay. From 186 to 147, that's a very large percentage pullback. But look at what just happened, and it's halted. Okay. This may be, again, you guys, the kind of setup that, for me, this is the equivalent of my son's, oh, sorry, it just got me out of it because I'm in the money machine. This is the equivalent of my son's LFS type of pattern. He saw this move, he bought it like right here, set a stop like right here. I mean, is this not worth trying like a 20 cent or a 30 cent stop, or whatever your risk tolerance is, and to be able to hopefully ride a 2, 3, 4, 500% gain? I mean, this is what Trade Ideas is all about, you guys. So again, ABEO, notice not a lot of, again, just sometimes the winners aren't that big. It's just that comparatively nothing else is going on. And here we are. Yeah, for anyone who is not aware, TradeWave is an incredible piece of tech. And I'm just going to bring it up for any stock that you like. Okay, and I'm using this on the 5-minute. So you can see there's a little bit of churn, but here there was a sell signal that was like 384.38. And then a buy signal right here, 429. It just started happening. You can look at any stock. Really. Nebbia's getting hammered after earnings. Always costs me some money, but I'm in this one at $26, so not a big problem overall. But again, you can see what the behavior pattern that it's finding. And any time frame, that you're comfortable with, the TradeWave adjusts to it. Buy, sell. Okay. Okay, so net trade. I'm showing you guys a version that's not out yet. Okay. And I don't have, okay, so just to make sure, the race is not in my brokerage plus. what I did was I created a race, and I'm actually going to right click, save and share to the cloud. I'm going to give you guys this race. I can do that. Copy. I'm actually glad you guys asked me for this. All right, so anybody who is a Trade Ideas customer, please open this up and you will see the exact same race that I'm racing here. Let's do this real quick while we're still together. I just want to make sure you guys see this. And all I did, right, is I just put the race over here and I got rid of the execution panel on the money machine by going configure, and you can have it, but I got rid of it for space in case I had more positions. But here, all I'm doing is I'm basically momentum trading, okay? The top, momentum-based stocks in this particular race. And through lots of trial and error, I'm hunting for the thing that we talked about, which is LFS. And that went yesterday from $2 all the way to, like, it went as high as 19 after hours. Okay. And here it is. This is what they don't tell you about on CNBC. This is the real essence of why you subscribe to Trade Ideas. And nothing is better in momentum-based detection technology than we are. We're the kings of it. This race view is a very powerful visualization technology to help you spot what's going and why it's ahead of something else. I mean, even though the moves can be very small, you understand what's happening. Okay. So Michael Anthony, I love what you're saying, but you know that everybody's doing that. And it's impossible to trade that way because momentum doesn't work that way. Fundamental-based trading is really not momentum-based trading because momentums and fundamentals are completely disconnected. There are like 5 different momentum streams that happen. Like there's the unusual volume, unusual options volume, unusual news, halts and resumes, and they're just not fundamentally oriented. And then, I want to give you another example here on the fundamentals. So if you, as I mentioned, I'm in this trade, Nebius. I'm doing very well in it overall, but they just reported earnings, okay, up 300%. They missed some estimate on revenues by 9 million, which who knows who makes these estimates, but their actual revenues increased by 300%, and they've dropped from 130 to 93 in 3 days. So again, how fundamentals are interpreted is super long-term and not too momentum oriented. Whereas the momentum game is very simply, you can see the price action, you can see this reversal taking place here, and there's nothing that you need to worry about that, because again, your P&L is what tells you if you're doing well or not. So P&L is the real differentiator on all of this. All right, you guys, last couple of questions. We just went a little bit over the hour. I feel like terrific live stream. Mentioned that we have added the ability to use alerts and races in the money machine. This is still an alpha. You can add your own positions and the money machine will will risk manage it. So tons of incredible stuff happening, and we're just continuing to innovate. If you are not yet a Trade Ideas subscriber, I really suggest that you try it out. It's incredible. Really appreciate that, Ozzy. We try hard. We believe that we've got the best tech, the best streaming tech, and even things like this that I didn't even discuss today, but the positive negative market pulse. I mean, you can see things with trade ideas that you just can't with other services, and we're tracking events. Let me give you the configuration that really just give you, like, this is a positive event pattern recognition viewer and negative one that others just aren't tracking. Yeah, IQ QH was off the charts today and was just another great example of what you can do if you're at it early. I mean, here, I did a lot of money machine example trading, but we got into it like right around here and, sold right here, pulled back, and it's continuing. And again, this is one of these ones that could continue to run. All right, man. All right, you guys. Love you all. Really appreciate it. Glad you got to see my son do his thing. Very proud of being able to show that. I mean, what better way to demonstrate the tech than having your 13-year-old son make over 400% in a trade in one day when he was off of school? And he and I joke about it. I'm like, son, what the hell are you learning in school? You just made more money than most adults make in one day. And I mean, like, you're in a 98th percentile, if not higher. And he understands that completely, but he loves having fun with his friends and, totally grounded. And, but the skill set that he's learned now at 13, no one can ever take that away from him. And he will have that for the rest of his life. Whereas social studies, I don't know what the hell you learn in social studies in middle school, but it seems like a gigantic waste of time. So, Drumline, thank you very much. Yeah, super proud of that. But I also want to show you that, there's something very interesting. A lot of people would hide their children for privacy. And again, it's not that I'm not trying to do anything unusual here. People know I have kids and very proud of my son. But when I can have my son demonstrate using my own tech, that we have built here for over 2 decades, and succeed in the way that he succeeded, I'm hoping that I'm showing you that I'm not just throwing, I put my own money on the line, but I'm teaching the same stuff I'm teaching you, I teach to my son. And it's not rocket science. Think about this, right? Like, just think about this QH trade, okay? And I'm not saying it's going to be up, but like the risk from 138 to like 99, it's a big percentage risk. But if it starts really climbing, again, it could all be bullshit, right? But they've got a market cap of $1 million and revenues of $354 million. And again, nothing I'm saying here is for investment advice of any kind. It's a Chinese stock. Who the hell knows? But the point I'm making is the momentum is incredible. And this is why you were here at Trade Ideas. All right, you guys, again, so many people here, big attendance today, very appreciative. I'm hoping next week I will be showcasing to you the version of the new alpha, and we will continue to rock and roll and take it away. Thank you. Love you guys. Really appreciate all of your time, and you're seeing the innovation happen as it's happening. Okay, you're in Perry RLMD because of the race. All right, you guys, take care. Love you all. We are ending the live stream.